just a few weeks ago, my good friend Wayne LaPierre, the executive director, head of the National Rifle Association, spoke pretty candidly on national television about the president's gun policies. In return, he was personally and professionally crucified for daring to speak his mind. During the past 8 years, President Clinton has fought hard for every kind of firearm restriction imaginable. Yet at the same time, that's true, it's true. Yet at the same time, he has, as a matter of policy, refused to vigorously enforce the 22,000 gun laws, federal gun laws already on the books. Wayne said that prosecuting felons with firearms is the only proven policy that has cut gun murders by half. He watched it work in Richmond, Virginia, under a program called Project Exile. Every man with a felony record caught with a firearm, whether he's committing a crime or not, serves a mandatory 5 years in prison. No plea bargaining, no deal. I must tell you, that started with a brave young federal district attorney, assistant district attorney, who was working in Richmond. And he came home one night, and his daughter was sitting in front of the television. There had been some kind of a gunfight in the streets. And she said, "Daddy, can't anybody do something about this?" And he said, "Yeah, honey, your daddy can." And he did. With the help of the NRA, we gave him close to $1 million, and it's working. Believe me, not many felons carry firearms in Richmond anymore. The NRA helped fund that, as I said, when the Clinton administration wouldn't. So I think Wayne LaPierre spoke the truth when he said the president seems willing to accept a certain amount of firearm-related violence because enforcement interfered with his personal anti-gun agenda. The words were no more out of Wayne's mouth when the media erupted. For 2 solid weeks, he was demonized, scorned, vilified. But during those same weeks, the media was far more interested in reporting what Wayne said than investigating what Clinton did or failed to do. In fact, the president has been miserably lax in enforcing federal gun laws. But it was easier to condemn a good man for making a politically incorrect statement than it was to dig out the facts and exonerate a victim of cultural warfare. To me, political correctness is tyranny, just tyranny with manners. The spectacle of Wayne LaPierre's media crucifixion appalled me. Yet at the same time, it stiffened my determination to speak out, even louder, with all the breath I have about this cultural cancer that's eating away at our society. So, in closing, let me challenge those good, strong young minds of yours. Dare to consider both sides of any issue and find the courage to question authority. Don't always believe everything you hear from a Bill Clinton, a Dan Rather, a George Bush, or an Al Gore. Dig deeper than the headlines, or the stump speeches, or the television news. Don't trust any of us. Not a Michael Jordan or a Dennis Miller, not even Charlton Heston. Because we all have our prejudices, and it's your job to sort through all the rhetoric, weigh and measure each word, and decide on your own. When a featherless kid in a crack house finds a stolen gun and shoots a schoolmate, stand up and say, giving drug dealers trigger locks isn't a solution here. When a mugger sues his elderly victim for defending herself, jam the switchboard at the district attorney's office, raise the roof with your outrage. Or when your university is pressured to lower standards till 80% of the students graduate with honors, choke the halls of the Board of Regents in a unified show of disgruntled force. When an 8-year-old boy pecks a girl's cheek on a playground and gets hauled into court for sexual harassment, descend on that school like avenging angels until someone in charge exercises some common sense. And when someone you've elected is seduced by the power of the office and betrays you, muster the collective will to banish them from public life. Because unless you do these things, freedom as we have known it for 2 centuries cannot endure. So I challenge you to take up the torch that freed exiles, founded religions, defeated tyrants, and provoked an armed and roused rabble to break out of bondage and build this country. There is still some of them in all of us. So don't give up just yet. We're not quite finished with their revolution. Thank you.